And we're back on the Fowler Show. In the policy breakdown tonight, I know I've talked about this a lot, but I want to come back and talk about this one more time. So the Congressional Black Caucus just released their budget this week, their budget for America. And in their budget, they do one thing that I wish Paul Ryan's budget did, and I wish Republicans would consider doing. They raised the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour. Now, this movement is happening all across the country. There's a lot of state legislatures and governors that are pushing to raise the minimum wage. In the state of Maryland, Maryland will become the second state to pass a 10-10 minimum wage in just a couple days. America, raising the minimum wage is by far one of the best things we could do to bring back our economy. And here's why. Now, there's a lot of arguments out there that indicate that if we raise the minimum wage, we're gonna destroy jobs, and you're gonna get rid of all these jobs. And yes, in the short term, you are right. I will not deny the facts. In the short term, when you create what we call in economic theory an economic ceiling, or an economic floor rather, you also create there's a shortage under the floor, so there's folks who get shut out of the market because of raising price. But over time, America, as the economy begins to adjust to the new wages that are sort of put in the marketplace, that shortfall disappears, right? So the CBO tells you this right away, right? So first thing that raising the minimum wage does is takes almost 1 million families out of poverty. The second thing, for the short term, you do lose jobs. So what ends up happening is the economy will correct itself. It always does. We have raised the minimum wage under George H.W. Bush. We've raised the minimum wage under George W. Bush, and the economy has corrected itself. Innovation is spurred. People create businesses. And the other thing that happens is that those individuals that are now making more money, they contribute to the overall the demand curve, right? Because since they're making more money, they can pay for more goods. And since they can pay for more goods, they shift the demand curve, right? And as the demand goes out, then you see the different markets starting to see the impacts of the minimum wage. More money going into the economy. The more money that goes into the economy, the more money that comes out of the economy. That is why raising the minimum wage is a good thing. Now, I can go on and talk about the philosophical reasons why we need to raise the minimum wage. Or I can go on and talk to you about the economic reasons why we need to raise the minimum wage. But I don't need to do that because we have an immoral imperative here to raise the minimum wage. For the past 2 years, 4 years, the Republicans have been in control of the United States Congress. And they have not passed one bill that created one job. All they have done is they voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act 50 some odd times. They voted to cut taxes for millionaires and billionaires. They voted to commemorate In God We Trust, to commemorate the flag, to pledge allegiance, voted to commemorate the pledge, voted to commemorate the Star Spangled Banner, whole bunch of commemorated a lot of airports and a lot of post offices and a lot of schools. But they have done nothing to help middle class and working families. They've actually done the opposite. Every budget bill that this Republican Congress has passed has hurt middle class and working class families. So now, they stand in contrast to helping middle class and working class families. Yet still, right now, right here in this place, in this time, in this space, they now want to continue to do that. They want to continue that trend. They want to continue to destroy and crush middle-class families from having the lives they deserve and working class families having the lives they deserve with no solutions. They haven't provided you with one solution. You don't want to raise the minimum wage? Are you going to create more job training programs? Hell no. You don't want to raise the minimum wage? Okay, cool. Are you going to rebuild some schools and rebuild some roads so folks get back to work making higher wages? Hell no. Right? You don't want to raise the minimum wage? Are you going to give more money to Pell Grants so folks can go back and get a college degree? Hell no. You don't want to raise the minimum wage? You're going to give more money to women and children so they can get milk, cheese, and eggs? Hell no. Clear contrast. So raising the minimum wage, you have a moral imperative to do it, folks. We're not raising the minimum wage. You're not raising it for me. You're not raising it for Barack Obama. You're not raising it for Nancy Pelosi. You're not raising it for Harry Reid. We don't need you to. I don't need a minimum wage increase. Nancy Pelosi doesn't need a minimum wage increase. You know who needs a minimum wage increase? The nursing assistant working at the nursing home around the corner from your house. You know who needs a minimum wage increase? The single mother stacking the shelves right now at Walmart. You know who needs a minimum wage increase? That mother that's working 2 jobs, she works at McDonald's, Wendy's, and she cleans homes. That is who needs a minimum wage increase. You know who needs a minimum wage increase? That father that was a day laborer to make sure that his kids get a chance to pursue the American dream and go to college. The father that's trying to break the cycle in the inner city of Chicago that depends upon the minimum wage to make sure that his son get a good education, go to college, and become part of our middle class. Those are the people who we need to raise the minimum wage for, not for me. John Boehner, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for the person in your district that needs that extra cash to make sure that their son or their daughter gets the asthma pump that they need to breathe. We're talking about life and death here, America. We're talking about life and death. When we have the highest rate of food insecurity and we have the world's largest economy, we have a problem. Amongst the developed world, we are in the top 5 for hungry children. Top 5. And you're telling me that we cannot muster enough courage to raise the minimum wage by $3? Come on, y'all. When it takes a Walmart employee 30 minutes to buy a gallon of milk based on her wages, you're telling me we don't have a problem in America? When a mother has to pick and flip a coin to figure out what bill she's going to pay this week, tell me we don't have a problem in America? Come on, y'all. And don't I hear your arguments of she shouldn't have the kids. Why did she have the kids to begin with? Doesn't matter. See, it does not matter when she had those kids, when she didn't have those kids, if she had them yesterday, if she had them today. The fact is that those kids are here, and it is our job as this country for us to uplift our young people, whether they're black, brown, or Asian, whether they're Pacific Asian Islander or they're Indian, or whether they're Native American, or whether they're from the United Kingdom. If they are born in this country, no matter what ethnicity they are, it is our job in America to afford them an opportunity to get the American dream. And raising minimum wage, America, is how we get it done. It's easy. It is simple. You are not going to lose sleep over raising the minimum wage, Paul Ryan. It's not going to happen. But you're going to help a lot of folks in Wisconsin get some sleep. You're not going to lose any sleep, but so folks in Wisconsin will get sleep because you decided to make the brave decision to raise our minimum wage. America, there is a lot at stake. If we want to turn this economy around, if we want to be the America of our founding fathers, if we want to be in America, the land of opportunity, if we want to be in America that stands for the Statue of Liberty, if we want to be in America we want to be the America of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, if we want to be the America of Abraham Lincoln, if we want to be the America of Lyndon Baines Johnson, if we want to be the America of President Kennedy or Senator Ted Kennedy, then we have got to stand up and we've got to reclaim that America, and we can only reclaim that America by taking a small step right here, right now, and raising the minimum wage to $10.10. It is easy to do. You won't lose sleep, but a lot of poor folks will gain some sleep. So let's get it done, America. Call your member of Congress, call your senator, and say, raise the minimum wage.